You know, think about this for a second. NBA Finals, your local park, doesn't matter. There's one play you see absolutely everywhere, the pick and roll.
Yeah, it's ubiquitous.
It looks simple, right? Player A blocks a defender, player B dribbles past, maybe a pass, maybe a shot.
Deceptively simple sometimes.
But it's called, one of the oldest, most fundamental plays. Some even say it's maybe the most effective play in the game.
And what's really interesting, I think, is how that basic two-person action just consistently puts the defense in a tough spot, like a two-on-one, basically.
Exactly.
That pressure, that inherent advantage, that's why you see it constantly from kids learning the game right up to the pros.
Right. And that's exactly what we're diving deep into today, the pick and roll. It's such a cornerstone. We don't just want to define it, though. We want to really get why it's so important and how it actually works effectively, even in pickup games,
Yeah, the Wild West of basketball sometimes.
Totally. And we've got a great mix of material to dig into, thanks to what you sent us.
Yeah, it's quite a range. We've got basic drills, how you teach it. Then there's the really high-level strategy talk, like coaching clinic stuff.
And even some gold from online forums about pickup ball. Some very real-world insights there.
Definitely some relatable frustrations, I'm sure.
So you've given us the blueprints and the street-level view. Our mission here is to pull all that together into something useful for you.
Right.
We're going to unpack it layer by layer. Start with the basics, the mechanics, then look at how skilled players create space, reading the defense.
And how it all plays out, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in organized ball versus pickup.
Exactly. So, okay, let's lay that foundation. For anyone maybe not super deep in strategy talk, can you just walk us through the basic mechanics, the absolute essentials?
Sure thing. So, at its heart, pick and roll, offensive play. One player, the screener, set the screen, it's the pick part.
Right, setting a block.
Yeah, for the teammate with the ball, the ball handler. Then, after setting that screen, the screener rolls, usually towards the hoop.
Hoping for a pass, maybe draw the defense.
Exactly. Looking for an easy score or just to create chaos for the D. It's like the classic two-person game to make something happen.
Okay, let's focus on the screener first. What's their main job when they go to set that pick?
Well, the big thing is freeing up the ball handler, getting their defender screened off effectively. One source called it a well-executed screen.
Meaning?
Meaning you need a wide base, good balance, firm contact, but, and this is key, you have to be stationary.
The moving screen foul. Nobody wants that.
Definitely not. So plant yourself, be solid, but don't move into the defender.
Okay, so contact is made. Is the strainer done then?
No, not at all. Right after that contact, they need to pivot, open up towards the ball handler, become a target, a viable passing option.
I see. So it's screen, then immediately look for the ball.
Yes, and the timing there is it's crucial. The screen needs to be fully set before the ball handler uses it. That's what really disrupts the defender.
Makes sense. Timing is everything. Okay, now flip it. What about the ball handler? What are their responsibilities?
So for the ball handler, job one is using that screen to create separation, get away from their defender.
How do they do that best?
You got to dribble tight to the screen, really force your defender to run right into it. Coaches talk about brushing shoulders with the screener.
Okay, so use the screener like a wall. Get close.
Exactly. Leave no space for the defender to slip through.
And once they get that space, that separation, what then?
Then it's decision time. It's all about making the correct read. What's the defense doing?
Right. Drive, shoot, pass.
Precisely. Assess the situation fast. Should I attack the rim? Is there an open jumper? Or is the best play hitting that rolling screener? Or maybe kicking it out to someone else?
And the source is stressed reading before acting, not just reacting blindly.
Absolutely. Don't predetermine your move. See what the defense gives you, then exploit it. The pick creates the advantage. The read capitalizes on it.
Gotcha. So, to make this concrete, one source mentioned a basic 2-on-2 drill. How does that typically work?
Yeah, that's a fundamental teaching tool. You might have the ball handler on the wing, screener maybe opposite wing or at the elbow.
Okay.
Screener comes to set the pick, and boom, it's live, 2-on-2. They play it out screens, cuts, reads until someone scores or there's a turnover.
And you can add pressure, right? Like playing to a certain score.
Yeah, play to 2 or 3 points, make it, take it. That ramps up the intensity, makes the reps more game-like, really drills down those reads and reactions.
Okay, so that's the what. We get the mechanics. Now let's dig into the why. What makes this simple-looking play so darn powerful? Why is it such a staple?
Well, like someone on Reddit bluntly put it, when you run it right, It gives the offense an advantage every single time.
Every single time. That's quite a claim.
It is, but it points to that core issue for the defense. That temporary 2-on-1. The defense has to react, and fast.
And any reaction has a potential downside, right?
Exactly. Do they go over the screen? Under. Switch. Bring help. Each choice creates a different opening for the offense to attack. It forces a decision, often a split-second difficult one.
And it's not just about that initial screen action, is it? It can create other problems for the defense, too.
Totally. You can use it to target specific defenders, maybe exploit a mismatch, like get a smaller guard switched onto your big man who set the screen.
Classic mismatch hunting.
Yep. And another point someone made, which I think is spot on, is how the game's evolution has actually made the pick and roll more dangerous.
How so?
Because ball handlers are just so much better at shooting now, league-wide. Decades ago, maybe you could sag off the ball handler, dare them to shoot.
Right, play the drive or the roll.
But now, with so many guards being legitimate pull-up threats, defenses can't just sag back. That threat opens up the roll even more, or the drive if the defender closes out too hard. It adds another layer of complexity for the defense.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we get the basics, we get why it's powerful, but, watching the pros, they seem to get so much separation. How do skilled players take it up a notch? What are those advanced techniques?
Yeah, this is where the real craft comes in. Getting separation isn't just about the screen itself. It's about everything leading up to it and right after. Both players.
Let's start with the ball handler again. What advanced stuff are they doing?
Misdirection. That's the word one source kept using. Misdirection is key.
How does that look?
Could start before the dribble. A good triple threat stance. Low. Maybe a step toward the defender. Ball protected. Makes you unpredictable.
Okay, sets the stage.
Then, with the dribble, using moves to kind of lead the defender away from where the screen is coming, make them lean the wrong way.
Setting them up.
Exactly. And simple stuff too, like eye fakes. Just looking one way before you use the screen the other way. That can buy you that crucial half step.
Like a little head fake. Okay, so it's subtle manipulation. What about the screener? They're not just standing there waiting, right?
Definitely not. A good screener is active before the screen. They're working to delay the defender who's guarding them.
No.
Things like V-cuts, sharp change of direction to get a little space before they even go to screen, even subtle push-offs, kind of like a receiver getting off the line.
Okay. Create space for themselves first.
Yeah, the goal is to make it harder for their defender to react quickly and blow up the play or give good help.
So there's like a pre-screen battle happening.
Totally. And unpredictability helps the screener too. Don't just stare at the ball handler. Mix it up, fake an off-ball screen somewhere else, then go set the pick. Keep them guessing.
Changes of pace, too.
Oh, huge. A quick burst of the screen after looking relaxed can catch a defender flat-footed. Gives you better position.
Gotcha. And you mentioned something called a RAM screen. What's that about?
The RAM screen. Also called screen the screener or pick the picker. It's clever.
That's complex.
It's basically setting an off-ball screen for the person who's about to set the on-ball screen.
Whoa, okay. A screen for the screener.
Why? It's really good against defenses that get super aggressive on the main pick and roll, like a Hedge or a Blitz. We'll get to those. If you free up your main screener first, it makes it much harder for the defense to execute those aggressive traps.
Okay, that's definitely some next-level chess on the court.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, let's zoom in on the moment of truth, the screen itself. What did the sources say are the absolute keys to perfect execution?
Right, nailing the actual pick and roll action. 3 things really stood out. First, the perfect screen angle.
Angle matters.
Big time. Most coaches like about a 45-degree angle. The key is the screener's back should point where the ball handler wants to go on their first step off the screen.
Okay, so it guides the direction.
And it makes it way harder for the defender to just slide over or under easily. Creates a better roadblock.
Okay, angle. What's number 2?
Number 2 is getting good screener to defender contact. Solid contact. But here's the interesting part.
Yeah.
Sources say it's really the ball handler's job to set that up. Use their dribble, their body, to guide the defender into the waiting screen.
So the handler delivers the defender to the screen.
Kinda, yeah. You can't go too early. Defender just avoids it. Can't wait too long. Defender fights over. You gotta time it so the screener can make good, solid legal contact.
I see. It's a coordinated effort. Handler sets it up. Screener provides the wall. What's the third key?
Third is ball handler to screener contact. When the handler uses the screen, they need to get right up against the screener. Brush shoulders, like we said.
Why is that so important?
It closes that gap,
Right.
eliminates any daylight for the defender to try and squeeze through between them. Really seals the deal on creating that 2-on-1 advantage.
Gotcha. Angle, screener defender contact set up by the handler, and handler screener contact to seal it off. Makes sense. But okay, the screen happens perfectly. It's still not automatic, is it? Reading the defense is huge.
Absolutely critical. The screen just initiates the advantage. What happens next depends entirely on reading and reacting to how the defense adjusts. Both players have to do it.
So what are they looking for? What cues are they processing in that split second?
Okay, ball handler first. They're looking at their own defender. How are they playing the screen? Over, under, fighting through.
Right.
Then immediately, where's the screener's defender? Are they dropping back? Are they stepping out hard hedging? Are they staying attached to the roller? How can I attack that?
Lots to process instantly.
And then there's the tag man. That's the key help defender, usually rotating over to stop the roll man. You have to read the tag man.
What about them specifically?
Are they committing fully? How far are they leaving their guy? What triggers their rotation? Reading that dictates the pass to the roller, or maybe a skip pass to the guy the tag man left.
Wow, okay. It's like scanning the whole floor in a fraction of a second. What about the screener? What are they reading?
Screener's also reading the on-ball defender. Do they get screened effectively? Impacts the angle of their roll. They're reading their defender. Are they staying home or helping on the ball?
Oh.
And they absolutely need to see that tag man too. Helps them find the open space on the roll, anticipate the pass, and both guys need to be aware of baseline help the low man. Where's that help coming from? Impacts, drives to the rim, kick out passes.
It really is a constant flow of information and adjustment. So dynamic. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Let's talk pickup basketball. How does this finely tuned play translate to the more chaotic world of the local gym?
Yeah, this is where theory meets messy reality. The sources in the pickup world were pretty vivid.
I bet. What are the big challenges?
Well, number one is just lack of coordination. You're playing with strangers half the time. You might set a great screen, but the ball handler, well, like one guy complained online, they just want to ISO.
Right, ignore the screen and just dribble one-on-one.
Exactly. Or maybe worse for the screener, they roll wide open to the hoop and the handler just never sees them. Tunnel vision.
Oh, man, I've seen that play out way too often. So frustrating when you're the screener.
Totally. And communication, or the lack of it, is another huge thing in pickup. Simple stuff like yelling screen left or roll makes a huge difference, but it often just doesn't happen in that environment.
Too much noise, maybe too much ego sometimes.
Could be, but it's not all doom and gloom for pickup, pick and roll, right?
Yeah.
One source made a good point.
Yeah.
Said it really only takes one other person on the court who gets it.
Find your partner in crime.
Exactly. Look for those fundamentally sound players. The source even joked about finding the one older player who's fundamentally sound. If you and just one teammate know the basics better than the defense, you can really exploit that coordination gap.
That's encouraging. So a little shared knowledge goes a long way in pickup. What are the common pitfalls people should try to avoid?
Well, besides the handler ignoring the roll, missed passes are huge. Like that guy said, sometimes you got to yell ball, ball, ball when you're open underneath.
Got to make yourself heard.
Yeah. And for the screener, just be ready for anything. Set a good screen, but know the handler might still ISO, or you might need to crash for a rebound. And for the handler, simple advice. Keep your head up. Look for your rolling teammate.
Sounds basic, but easily forgotten in the heat of the moment. Good advice for the pickup warriors listening. Okay, before we wrap the main discussion, can we briefly touch on defense? How do teams try to stop the pick and roll, and what are the counters to those strategies?
Yeah, we could do a whole deep dive just on defensive coverages. It's so complex. But let's hit the main ones quickly.
Okay.
Common one is low drop. Screener's defender drops way back, protects the paint.
How do you beat that?
If your screener can shoot, pick and pop is great. They step out for a jumper instead of rolling. Or set the screen higher up the floor. Gives the handler more room for a pull-up three or runway to drive before the drop defender can get there.
Okay, what if the defender drops but not quite so deep? Plays a bit higher.
That's more like a high drop. Still focused on the paint, but closer to the action. Counters. Handler might use a snake dribble, kind of weave back towards the screen to keep the defender on their hip.
Creates a better angle.
Yeah. Or look for a quick pocket pass to the roller if their defender steps up too much. Pick and pop is still in play too, maybe as a decoy.
Gotcha. What about defenses trying to force you away from the middle, towards the sideline?
That's often called ice or blue coverage. Defender angles the ball handler towards the sideline baseline area.
Limits their options.
Right. Counters are often similar to high drop because the screener's defender is usually in that area. But you might also see chase action screener screens, then quickly pops back out for a handoff. Rescreening to get the handler back middle is another option.
Okay, now what about the really aggressive stuff when they jump out hard on the ball handler?
Right, that could be a hedge, screener's defender steps out aggressively
Yeah.
to stop the ball handler momentarily, or even a blitz, basically a quick trap or double team right off the screen.
Tough situations. How do you counter those?
Against a hedge, a quick pass to the short roll. The screener, stopping the roll around the free throw line area, is often the answer. Maybe followed by that chase action handoff, or the handler might use an escape dribble to get away.
And the blitz, the trap.
Quick, decisive passes are key. Need movement away from the ball. High screen gives more space. Short roll is often good here too, into the space the blitz creates. Sometimes you split the trap with a well-timed ram screen first, or slip the screen roll early before contact, or even a ghost screen. Fake the pick, then cut. Lots of options, but you need quick decisions.
Man, it really is a whole world of strategy within this one play.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, as we start to pull this together, what are the absolute essential takeaways, the core tips for anyone wanting to master this, from the park to the pros?
Yeah, boiling it down, a few things kept coming up. Number one, maybe above all else, read the defense, always. On-ball D, screeners D, tag man, baseline help, constantly scanning.
Okay, read the D. What else?
Keep him guessing. Use misdirection. Dribble moves, eye fakes, change of pace. Don't be predictable.
Stay low, make contact.
Yep, stay low for balance and power. Make that good contact on the screen. See the floor, keep your head up. And remember, change of speed often beats pure speed.
Good point. Anything else?
Just that off-ball action matters too. What the other three players are doing can really help distract the defense, open things up even more. It's a team game even within the two-man action.
Great summary. Okay, we have really gone deep on the pick and roll today. Hopefully for you listening, this has maybe cleared some things up, offered a more nuanced view of this really fundamental but also super versatile play.
Yeah, it's amazing how much strategy, how many counters, and how many pickup game frustrations are packed into that seemingly simple action.
We really hope this gave you some aha moments, maybe a better framework for thinking about it, whether you're running drills, watching a game, or, battling it out on a Saturday morning.
And, maybe this sparks some more questions for you. What parts are you still curious about? Have you started noticing these coverages, these reads, maybe in games you've watched or played since we started talking?
Yeah, definitely dive deeper if something caught your interest. Look into specific coverages or watch players who are just masters of the pick and roll. There's always more to learn.
Absolutely.
And maybe a final thought to chew on, and think about those core principles, right? Creating an advantage through teamwork, coordinating movement, reading your opponent, reacting.
Yeah.
How might those ideas apply outside of basketball? Maybe in work, relationships, other challenges. Just something to ponder.